I will explain this, how this works, because this was so confusing to me that like when I was like, 60% finished with the game, that's when I realized how to actually use super wells properly. So basically, as you can see, this meter is going down. Once this meter goes down completely, as you can see, I'm getting 26.89 per second crystals, because we are at the 0% purity. So what you want to do is, once this meter starts to fill up, it's going to take the bright bloom plant and whatnot to fill up these meters. You definitely want to maintain these. As you can see, that 21%, 27%, and once these like fill up, you want to balance them so that this, as you can see, it's 99%, the 99%. So you want to maintain this balance, but you want to get it all the way up to like nearly filling, and then you want like around over 90% to get like one boost. As you can see, it's 73%, 75, 80, 83, 87. I'm gonna stop both of these right here. I'm gonna lock them, and I'm gonna wait for the white part to fill up. And once it overtakes on that side, I'm going to unlock it so that it can fill up the white part as well. And then once both of these meters, 44%, 87%, both of these are over 90%, that's when we'll get the balance out as well. So we're gonna unlock it right now. So it should start unlocking, and the black is going up, it's getting into 90, but it will stop because there's no more black left, and the white will go up, and it should, like, as you can see, 94%, and will balance out till it hits like 100% or somewhere around there. And as long as over 90% or like 89%, you will get first purity. Now first purity will last for 4 minutes, so you want to repeat this process to get second purity, which will last like 30 minutes, and then you will get third purity when you do this process third time, which will last 3 hours. And then you will do this for the fourth time, for the fourth purity, which will give you the maximum benefits. You want to make sure this thing is always as fourth purity, so that will provide you the maximum amount of crystals and other stuff that this soul well produces, super well produces, which will last for 12 hours. So every 12 hours you come back and do the process one time, and will keep up the fourth purity, because if you don't do this, the fourth purity will go down to 0 purity, and once it hits 0 purity, then you have to do the process all over again from 0 to first, second, third, fourth. If you just do it before the fourth purity hits 0, you just do it one more time and the fourth purity continues. So every 12 hours you want to come into the game and do this again, and you'll get more and more and more resources. Now let's move on to the world. The world will give you a bunch of shit. So basically in the missions, these are like main missions, like Medusa's brood, Medusa's fleet, Medusa's head. These are not possible to complete at the moment for me, because they're not because these are mission for like actual game, the story missions, but they're not possible to do them at the moment. I've done them to like 4th and 5th, but I realized that the update has not been done, so I can't actually finish these, and the missions get more and more difficult. So I'm just waiting for the update to proceed on with this. If you have any questions related to the game, you can leave a comment in the description of this video if you ever play this, or you can go to the home quest subreddit, and over there I've found a bunch of good answers as well. So whenever you defeat someone, you get honor. In the earlier stages of the game, you will also get recipes for like a bunch of houses and like buildings and stuff, like the aluminium building and whatnot. So that stuff is not initially unlocked. So you get honor, and then you get like buildings. And as you can see in this absurd sludge, I would get like winged keys. So the winged keys would allow me to buy a bunch of other stuff, which I will show you just now. So if I fight this, so this is my army, which is like blued out. As you can see, I have a much upgraded army compared to that guy's army. If I start the battle, we'll like pretty much immediately demolish them. The other army does not even like have a chance to fight back. The combat is fairly simple. They have automatic fight. As you can see, there are a bunch of like circular things at the bottom, which are like my priests, which like uncurses us if the enemy uses a curse spell, which these guys will not, because they are not that upgraded. The main storyline enemies do use curses, and the bottom of that is the Valkyrie. If one of your troop dies, the Valkyrie will sacrifice 1/3 of its life to bring the troop back, and after 3 deaths, the Valkyrie will disappear, and they'll do have to rehire her again using honor. If I go to the Valhalla, hire Valkyries, as you can see, I have 25, you can spend money to get Valkyrie. If you go into Challenge Guardian, you can send a bunch of troops to fight. As you can see, these people up top, these are Valkyries. They're really high up. I believe I've defeated them to level 40 or something. I didn't need to defeat any more of them after that. So you can upgrade these and send troops in to kill them. Do not ever send your Archon or your Legion, the defensive troops, because the defensive troops share a single health bar, and they send like a death attack which like kills your troop instantly, doesn't matter how strong they are. And if you have a bunch of like your defensive troops up there, one of them will get hit, all of them will share damage, and all of them will die. Like all 80 of them will die in a single hit. So it's preferable to just not send your defensive troop. You just want to send your Warlock, your Archon for healing, and the clerics and whatnot for, well, clerics are not necessarily needed to be sent. Just Warlock and Archon will do the trick. Warlock will throw fireballs and magic. Archon will heal, which you will overwhelm them with numbers and stuff. Basically, I'm going to the Forbidden Sea. You can send your fleets in here. There's no reason to send your fleets in here. You can just send them in, and they will just basically die. And even if they defeat the monsters, it's like you upgrade this to Forbidden Sea level 2, as you can see, which is pointless. Valhalla has been upgraded to level 50 because you can actually buy stuff from Valhalla. There's no need to actually defeat the Forbidden Sea because you don't get anything from it. What do you sell? As you can see, I can buy a Tree of Life. You can get Freya's Fortune. I need 3 million silver coins. I need 26 winged keys, which is why I'm collecting keys, and I'm collecting coins constantly. Then you can go into Mercury. I'm not going to get into too much what these guys do, except for hiring clerics. You can hire clerics on them. There's like story relation stuff which you need to figure out yourself. As for the Oracle, there's a bunch of story related stuff. You can go into the future. You can press all right on 50k. She will predict your future. Basically, she will boost your random production of resources. It's really not worth spending coin on that. Honestly, it's a waste of money, if you believe me. So definitely do not ever have her look into your future, because she will just boost to production of like 2 things. Any of your 2 random resources, which is not fun. There's like a bunch of story dialogue which you can figure out for yourself and as you play it yourself. If you go into what you sell, as you can see, she sells a bunch of these seeds. This is why I actually needed the seed. Keisha does not take 80 a pop, it just takes 20. So if you buy a bunch of these trees, you plant the trees, you get the sap from them, and then you can sell the sap to her, so you get status from that. As you can see, my status family, which is the maximum status you can get from her, and bunch of stuff like that. If you're going to have known each other for too long, which is something that unlocks later in the game, you can buy a theater from her, which have no use at the moment. I wasted 2 million silver on that because it literally has no use just yet, because the game they have not put that in as to what that would be, what that would actually be helpful for. The last thing I want to show you is the army. So as you can see, 527 is my strength. I have the tank. These are the weaker units. Warrior, Knight, Legion is the best unit. So I have that 80 of those, and I've upgraded them to 41 level, which is the maximum level. Warlock has been upgraded to 41 level. Healers have been upgraded to 41 level. They use different armors: tech armor, gilded armor, energized armor. I've used a bunch of them. They all are equally divided. 80 tanks, 80 healers, and 240 damage dealers. Just pretty good, which is not, that's the standard. You can't really set these, which is great for me. Honestly, I don't want to use my brain too much on this. So that's that. And you go into fleet. Fleet is basically, you can use hawks, which are like, they're like small ships in the front which like attack, which is not, there's not even one hawk at the moment I have, because I don't need them for this level of difficulty. There's mermaid that do healing, and they also have like a bunch of health which can do for like defense. Spirit is for these small blue boats in the back, which like basically provide ammunition, restores ammunition. Flagship is something you have to build. It's basically pretty good attack, and also heals the ammunition. Goliath is a ship that like they have cannons, and they throw cannon shots at the enemy's big ships. They don't attack small ships all that well, but they attack the big ships and do massive damage. Prometheus is the fighter jets, these big ones. They are basically these broad ones. They just throw fighter jets at enemies, and they go attack and come back. This thing is not very optimized well, the fleet stuff, which is why I've not done the Medusa's head and Medusa's fleet. Medusa's head I've done to 5th level. This is only done to 4th level because obviously the story doesn't allow to upgrade the boats, and the enemies bring in upgraded boats, so it's very difficult to defeat them, so kind of pointless. Now the last thing remaining is the story. So If you don't want to listen to the story, I would recommend go and play the game for yourself. There's a link in the description. I've explained all the mechanics you need to play the game. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the description, leave them in the comments, or you can go to the Home Quest subreddit. I might leave a link to that in the description as well. Go check them stuff out. And if you don't want to play this game and just want to listen to the story, then here we go. Nothing too interesting, but it is a story nonetheless.